A very good morning. You're watching Breakfast News with me, Smriti Rastogi. Let's begin the bulletin with the top headlines of this morning. Prime Minister asks Chief Secretaries to ensure traders register under GST by August 15. Also reviews issues of long pending infrastructure projects. Kiran Rijiju to lead central team to assess operations in flood-hit areas in northeast, to visit Assam, Arunachal, Manipur. Death toll in Assam rises to 44. Ten Indians killed and 6 others injured in major fire at a house in Saudi Arabia. Victims worked for a construction company. Indian officials rushing to the spot. Australia defeat India by 8 wickets in ICC Women's World Cup, but skipper Mithali Raj enters record books, is now leading ODI run scorer in women's cricket. And Andy Murray ousted and Djokovic retires hurt at Wimbledon. Federer on course for 8th title. Women's singles semi-finals today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has urged all chief secretaries to work towards ensuring that all traders register under the GST regime before August 15th. The Prime Minister conveyed this while chairing a meeting of the Proactive Governance and Timely Implementation Pragati in New Delhi. GST, a single tax on the supply of goods and services, was rolled out on 1st of July. It ushers a new system of indirect taxes in the country. During the meeting, the Prime Minister also reviewed many key issues of long-pending infrastructure projects in the railways, road and petroleum sectors spread over several states. Prime Minister urged all chief secretaries to emphasize on speedy implementation of such infrastructure projects. Index of industrial production for the month of May this year stood at 1.7% compared to 2.7% in the month of March 2017. According to the latest data released, drop in the IIP or factory output for the month of May is due to the dip in the mining sector and little growth in manufacturing activities. Last year, IIP rose by 2.79% in April and 8% in May. Meanwhile, separate data revealed that consumer price inflation eased to 1.54% in June from 2.18% in May. On to some more news. NDA's presidential nominee Ram Nath Kovind and his rival Meera Kumar continue to seek support for their candidature from across the country for the 17th July polls. Opposition's nominee Meera Kumar will visit Madhya Pradesh today. During her day-long visit, Kumar would meet legislators of the Congress party in Bhopal. After their nomination last month, Kumar and Kovind have been visiting various states as part of their campaign for the top constitutional post. Kovind, on the other hand, would visit Himachal Pradesh and Rajasthan. During the day-long visit, he is expected to meet legislators and other party leaders. The former governor will be accompanied by Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Venkaiah Naidu. The BJP Parliamentary Board is likely to meet today to finalize its candidate for the vice presidential polls. The last date for filing nomination papers for the vice presidential election is 18th of July. The polls, if needed, will take place on 5th of August. Meanwhile, opposition nominee for the post, Gopal Krishna Gandhi, called on DMK President M. Karunanidhi at his Chennai residence and sought his party's support in the polls. Gandhi was chosen by 18 opposition parties as their joint candidate. Earlier, he applauded the unity and conviction with which the parties asked him to be their candidate. The former West Bengal governor and grandson of Mahatma Gandhi said he accepted the nomination with all seriousness. He added that despite the current scenario of violence in the country, he trusted the good sense of people of the India and the Constitution.
I'm an independent person, I'm an independent citizen, I would say a very ordinary citizen. I see myself as a citizen candidate who is worried about the future of our country as a collective entity in this critical time, but who also has faith in the institutions of democracy.
Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi has attacked the Centre for Security lapses that led to the attack on Amarnath Yatris. In a series of tweets against the Prime Minister, Rahul Gandhi said that BJP's short-term political gain with the PDP has cost India massively. Meanwhile, the biggest batch of the pilgrims left for the shrine on Wednesday.
A fresh batch of pilgrims left for the Amarnath Yatra on Wednesday with over 3,700 yatris in 101 vehicles, including 55 buses and 46 light motor vehicles. This is the largest batch in the annual 40-day-long Amarnath Yatra. An armed convoy escorted the pilgrims at around 4 a.m. The Yatra has remained uninterrupted despite 7 pilgrims being killed and 19 more injured in Monday's terror attack in Khanabal. Markets in Pahalgam, the traditional route to the cave shrine, observed a shutdown to protest against the terror attack.
अभी तो और ज्यादा होगी जी, अगर ऐसी वारदात करेंगे तो यात्रा बढ़ती ही जाएगी, कम नहीं होगी।
सुरक्षा बहुत बढ़िया है और बकायदा कानवा के अंदर हम लोग की गाड़ियां जा गई हैं। सुरक्षा के पुख्ता इंतजाम है, बहुत बढ़िया इंतजाम है।
और ये डायरेक्ट अटैक था जो जम्मू कश्मीर का जो भाईचारा है, जो हमारी कश्मीरियत है, जो हमारी हजारों सालों से ये जो हमारा एक अकीदा रहा है, एकजुट होके एक जबान में जिस तरह उन्होंने इस वाक़े की मजम्मत की और अपने गम और गुस्से का जो इजहार किया, मैं समझती हूँ उससे एक बार ये फिर जाहिर हो गया कि आप कितनी भी कोशिश कर लीजिए, आप कश्मीरियत को मार नहीं सकते।
A massive hunt is underway to track down Lashkar-e-Toiba commander and Pakistani national Abu Ismail, who has been named as the mastermind behind the attack on the pilgrims. Officials said that Ismail, who has been active in Kashmir for several years, moved base to South Kashmir over a year ago. On Tuesday, security forces killed 3 terrorists near Budgam. The terrorists were killed after a search operation turned into an encounter.
Opportunities to the terrorists to surrender. Not only did they refuse to surrender, they retaliated with heavy gunfire. In the ensuing gunfight, the internal areas of the house caught fire, and finally the terrorists were forced to come out firing, attempting to break the cordon. In the attempt, the people in the cordon brought on effective fire and eliminated all 3 terrorists.
Opposition Congress launched a scathing attack on the Prime Minister for security lapses, which led to the attack on Amarnath Yatris. In a series of tweets, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi said that the Prime Minister's policies have created space for terrorists in Kashmir. The centre, however, expressed satisfaction with the increased security arrangements for Amarnath Yatra.
हर वर्ष से भी अधिक यहाँ पर तैयारी है। सभी यहाँ पर लोकल पुलिस, स्टेट पुलिस और सभी फोर्सेस, जिसका ज़्यादा नेतृत्व सीआरपीएफ करती है, बीएसएफ के साथ में और भी फोर्सेस हैं। आर्मी भी इसमें काफ़ी ताकत के साथ में मदद करती है। ये सभी ने मिलकर अच्छा चौक यहाँ पे व्यवस्था अच्छी की है।
Monday's attack was the worst on the annual pilgrimage in 16 years. In 2001, 13 people were killed during a terrorist strike in Sheshnag area close to the holy cave of Amarnath. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
2 army jawans were killed on Wednesday as Pakistani troops ambushed a petrol party along the line of control in Keren sector of Kashmir. An army official said petrol party of the army was ambushed and fired upon by the Pakistani troops. PTI is quoting official sources as saying Pakistani troops resorted to unprovoked firing, targeting forward posts on the LOC in Keren sector. The incident came just hours after 3 Hizbul Mujahideen militants were killed in a night-long encounter with the security forces in Budgam. And the indefinite shutdown continues in the Darjeeling Hills for the 29th consecutive day today. Violence erupted again in the Hill district on Wednesday, with agitators setting ablaze a panchayat office and damaging a few government vehicles. The activists also held rallies at Chowk Bazaar area with the body of Ashok Tamang. Tamang died on Tuesday night in a hospital after being allegedly injured in Saturday's clashes between the police and GJM supporters. The GJM claimed that Tamang received serious head injuries during a baton charge by the police. However, the police has denied the charges. Internet services remain suspended. Police and security forces patrolled the streets of the hills and kept a tight vigil at the entry and exit routes. Darjeeling is witnessing unrest since June 15th. The flood situation in northeastern states continues to hit normal life. On Wednesday, 5 more deaths were reported in Assam deluge, taking the total death toll to 44. Floods in the region have affected 17.2 lakh people in 24 of the 35 districts. The Brahmaputra River and its tributaries have submerged 2,500 villages, destroyed 1.06 lakh hectares of cropland. Nearly 75% of the Kaziranga National Park has been inundated. Assam Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal on Wednesday visited Majuli and Kaziranga National Park and assured help to the deluge-hit people and wildlife protection. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed anguish over the flood situation and promised all possible help from the centre. In Manipur, more than 20% of the total paddy fields in all 5 districts of Imphal Valley are hit by the floods. In Arunachal Pradesh, 5 persons have been killed and 9 are missing in Papumpare district as a massive landslide triggered by incessant rains hit 8 dwellings. Meanwhile, Union Minister Kiran Rijiju will today lead a high-level central team to assess rescue and relief operations in flood-affected areas in the northeast. During the 3-day tour, the central delegation will visit Assam, Arunachal Pradesh and Manipur. The team will include members from the National Disaster Management Authority, the National Institution for Transforming India and the National Disaster Response Force.
उनकी सुरक्षा के लिए सरकार की तरफ से जो भी कदम उठाना चाहिए ये कदम उठाया गया है और मैं आज खुद आया और जानवर का हालत मैंने खुद देखा, तो इसलिए अगले दिनों में हमें हाईलैंड और भी यहाँ बनाना होगा और अभी ये समय है जो भी हाईलैंड में बसे हुए हैं उनके लिए अनाज हमें उसमें सप्लाई करना होगा, तो इसलिए मैंने आदेश जारी किया है.
Situation of the flood in Kaziranga is alarming. So we have more than 50% of the areas which have been submerged underwater, and a lot of animals have migrated. And we have seen rhinos and deers as well as elephants which have migrated to the upper sides.
And with that, time for a very short break. More national, international and sports news on the other side. Stay with us.
The Dalit leaders are regrouping themselves, the communities are reorganizing themselves. Are we seeing a new brand of Dalit politics?
What is today seen is a healthy sign, and it augurs well for the community as a whole.
Does the country need a politics of identity, or does it need a politics of ideology?
Congress party always emphasized politics of ideology.
Presidential election 2017. There's a criticism which is coming that it's a highly casteist narrative which is playing out at the highest office of the country.
I don't think that these two people are fighting on the caste card.
Watch to the point with chairperson of the SC cell of AICC, K. Raju, only on Rajya Sabha television.
Thanks for being with us. The Supreme Court pulled up the Election Commission for not taking a clear stand on a plea seeking a lifetime bar on convicted politicians from contesting elections. The court said silence was not an option for it. A bench comprising Justices Ranjan Gogoi and Naveen Sinha came down heavily on the poll panel and asked whether it was constrained to not give its views on the matter. Referring to the ECI's reply, the Apex Court said it was clear that the poll panel has supported the cause espoused by petitioner Ashwini Kumar Upadhyay seeking a life ban on convicted politicians. When the bench asked ECI to clarify its stand, its lawyers said that poll panel is supporting the cause to the extent of decriminalization of politics. The council submitted that one of the paragraphs of the ECI's counter affidavit said that poll panel supports the cause and it should not be read in isolation. The bench takes the matter for further hearing on July 19th. The petition has also sought a direction to the centre and ECI to fix minimum educational qualification and a maximum age limit for persons contesting elections. And a day after JDU asked him to come clean, Bihar Deputy Chief Minister Tejasvi Prasad Yadav on Wednesday said that the corruption charges against him were the part of the political conspiracy by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP President Amit Shah. Tejasvi also ruled out his resignation in a cabinet meet called by Chief Minister Nitish Kumar.
Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar and RJD Chief Lalu Prasad's son, Tejasvi Prasad Yadav, on Wednesday ruled out quitting over alleged corruption charges on him. Yadav, who attended the cabinet meeting called by the Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, termed the corruption charges against him and his family a political vendetta created by the BJP.
ये जो FIR जो हुआ है, इसमें हम यही कहना चाहते हैं कि ये पॉलिटिकली वेंडेटा के हिसाब से बीजेपी के राजनीतिक षड्यंत्र, अमित शाह और नरेंद्र मोदी जी के षड्यंत्र के हिसाब से ये केस कराया गया है.
He also accused the BJP of creating conspiracies to break the Grand Alliance in Bihar. He further added that the charges date back to 2004 when he was a mere teenager.
महागठबंधन तोड़ने के प्रयास में रहे हैं, हमें बदनाम करने के प्रयास में रहे. जब हमारे पास सत्ता आई, पावर आई, मंत्रालय आया, तब हमने कोई गलत काम नहीं किया और 13-14 साल के उम्र का बच्चा वो राजनीतिक षड्यंत्र करके घोटाला करेगा.
While the RJD has rejected the possibility of Tejasvi quitting, JDU has asked him to put his defense out in the public domain.
हमारी पार्टी की साफ समझ है कि सीबीआई का केस हुआ है, बिंदुवार आरोप लगे हैं, बिंदुवार उसका जवाब जनता की अपेक्षा है. अपराध और भ्रष्टाचार में जो हमारी पूर्व की नीति है, उस नीति से न हिलेंगे न डिगेंगे.
Meanwhile, the BJP says giving more time to Tejasvi won't work and that the JDU should just sack him.
अपील करूंगा जेडीयू के नेताओं से, जब आपकी कार्यकारिणी ने एक प्रस्ताव पारित कर दिया है और आपने अल्टीमेटम दे दिया है, तो एक समय सीमा निर्धारित कीजिए, 24 घंटा, 48 घंटा, 72 घंटा. लेकिन जब वो इनकार कर दिए तो टाइमलाइन का भी कोई मतलब नहीं है. अब तो इनको तय करना कि कितने घंटे में वो बर्खास्त करेंगे.
On Tuesday, the JDU had asked the RJD to make its stand clear on the corruption charges against Tejasvi Yadav. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And let's take a look at other national news and nationwide. The BJP will take out a Save Bengal march from Rajghat in New Delhi today. The Saffron Party has attacked the TMC government in West Bengal over the recent communal clashes in Basirhat in North 24 Pargana district. It has alleged that Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee was practicing the twofold politics of appeasement and repression in the state. The Indian Railways has launched Rail Cloud. It is a virtual server with an inbuilt security system that will enable faster connectivity at a reduced cost. Developed by the Rail PSU RailTel at an estimated cost of about 53 crore rupees, Rail Cloud aims at optimizing server resources and its management. The Election Commission has cancelled the July 29th bypoll to Pakke Kesang Assembly seat in Arunachal Pradesh. The decision has been taken after many areas remain cut off due to heavy rains and landslides. The movement and retrieval of polling teams are likely to be adversely affected as a result. Fresh date for the polls will be announced later. Shifting our focus on the international front, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, once the most popular president in Brazil's recent history, has been sentenced to 9 years and 6 months in prison after being found guilty on corruption and money laundering charges. However, Lula has rejected claims that he received an apartment as a bribe in the corruption scandal linked to state oil company Petrobras. The case is the first of the 5 charges against him. However, Lula will remain free pending an appeal. His supporters denounced the sentence as political persecution. Lula won the 2 mandates, serving for 8 years as president until 2011. Unable to stand for a 3rd consecutive term, he was succeeded by close ally Dilma Rousseff, who was later impeached. Lula has expressed interest in running again in the next year's election for the left-wing Workers' Party. However, if his conviction is upheld by the higher court, he will be ineligible to stand. The ruling marks an extraordinary fall of a leader Barack Obama once called the most popular politician on earth.
O presidente recebeu a notícia com a serenidade do inocente e com a indignação de um injustiçado. Agora, os desdobramentos nós vamos trabalhar para...
Acho que não tinha razão para condenar. Eu acho que não tinha razão para condenar. Eu acho que ela não veio nem cedo nem tarde demais.
Eu acho que o Sérgio Moro ele foi muito hábil quando ele escreveu na sentença dele que não importa o quão alto você esteja, a lei sempre estará acima de todos nós. Tem que cumprir a lei. Se ele fez errado, aparentemente ele fez, ele tem que pagar pelos seus crimes.
Donald Trump's pick to lead the FBI has rejected the president's depiction of a probe into the alleged Russian meddling in the U.S. election as a witch hunt. Christopher Wray on Wednesday said that he had no reason to doubt the assessment by the U.S. intelligence agencies that Russia sought to influence the 2016 election in Trump's favor. Wray further went on to say that he would refuse to pledge loyalty to Trump and vowed to quit if told by the president to do something unlawful. Wray has been nominated by Trump on June 7th to replace the fired James Comey as FBI director. Comey had later told a congressional hearing that Trump had requested a pledge of loyalty to him, which he refused to give.
If I am given the honor of leading this agency, I will never allow the FBI's work to be driven by anything other than the facts, the law, and the impartial pursuit of justice, period, full stop. My loyalty is to the Constitution and to the rule of law.
And at least 10 Indians were killed and 6 others injured after a major fire ripped through a windowless house in Saudi Arabia. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj in New Delhi said officials of Indian consulate in Jeddah are rushing to Najran following the incident. Her response came after a woman sought the External Affairs Minister's help to bring back the mortal remains of one killed in the incident. Apart from the 10 Indians, another person was killed whose identity was not immediately known. The workers, who belonged to a construction company, were living near a gold market area in Faisalia district. The fire broke out due to short circuit in an old air conditioning unit, according to the primary information. And let's take a look at what else is making news around the world in World Wrap. Iraqi forces clash with Islamic State militants holding out in Mosul's old city on Wednesday. This comes more than 36 hours after Baghdad declared victory over the jihadists in what they had made the de facto Iraqi capital of their self-declared caliphate. Iraqi security forces released videos showing foreign IS fighters surrendering, with some using crutches to walk. Google has won its fight against a $1.3 billion French tax bill. This after a court rejected claims the search engine giant abused loopholes to avoid paying its fair share. The Paris Administrative Court decided on Wednesday that Google didn't legally dodge French taxes by routing sales in the country out of Ireland. Egypt's national carrier announced that the US has lifted the in-cabin ban imposed on the airline regarding carrying of electronic devices larger than a smartphone on board the aircraft for flights from Cairo to the US. In recent weeks, the US also lifted the ban imposed on airlines from Qatar, the United Arab Emirates and Turkey. In March, the US Department of Homeland Security imposed the ban on flights from majority Muslim nations in the Middle East and North Africa. Now to sports news. Top seed Andy Murray and 3-time champion Novak Djokovic bowed out of the Wimbledon on Wednesday, making Roger Federer a hot favourite to win this year's tournament. Defending champion Andy Murray appeared to be hampered by injury in his 5-set loss to American Sam Querrey in the quarterfinals. 24th seed Querrey won the match 3-6, 6-4, 6-7, 6-1, 6-1 and booked his first semi-final spot at the Grand Slam. He will now face 7th-seeded Marine in the last 4. Cilic prevailed over Gilles Muller in 5 sets to make it to his 4th Grand Slam quarter-final. Muller, who knocked out Rafael Nadal on Monday, took the first set, but former US Open champion Cilic came through a win 3-6, 7-6, 7-5, 5-7, 6-1. It was also curtains for world number 2 Novak Djokovic, who had to retire injured during his quarter-final match against Thomas Berdych. Djokovic, who would have regained top spot by winning the title, was down 7-6 to 0 when he withdrew with an elbow injury. Roger Federer, meanwhile, remained on course for his record 8th Wimbledon title with a straight-set victory over 6-seed Milos Raonic. The 18-time Grand Slam champion made short work of beating last year's runner-up Raonic with a trademark display, winning the match 6-4, 6-2, 7-6 in just under 2 hours. He will face Czech world number 15 Thomas Berdych in the semi-finals on Friday. And for India, it was a mixed day as Rohan Bopanna the mixed doubles quarter-finals, while Sania Mirza failed to cross the 3rd round hurdle in the same event. 4th-seeded Mirza and Ivan Dodek were upset 6-7, 4-6 by Henry Potunin and Heather Watson. Bopanna and his Canadian partner Gabriela Dabrowski beat the Croatian partner Nikola Metic and Anna 7-6, 6-2 to reach the last 8. In a women's singles semi-final will be played today. In the first semi-final, Spain's Gabriela Muguruza will take on unseeded Magdalena Rabriokova. In the second match, 5-times champion Venus Williams will face Britain's Joanna Konta for a place in the final. India's semi-final hopes suffered a major jolt after Australia notched up a comfortable 8-wicket win in the ICC Women's World Cup on Wednesday. Put into bat first, India set a target of 227 runs with the opener Poonam Raut scoring a brilliant century. Skipper Mithali Raj contributed 69 runs and in the process shattered the record as leading ODI run scorer in women's cricket history. Raj surpassed England cricketer Charlotte Edwards' 5,992 runs in 191 matches. With the feat, she also became the first ever woman cricketer to touch the 6,000 ODI runs mark. Australia overhauled the target with 29 balls to spare, courtesy some fantastic batting display by skipper Meg Lagnin and Elise Perry, both of whom scored half-centuries. After the loss, India are now placed at the 4th spot with 8 points. Mithali's team will have to win its next and final league match against New Zealand to make the knockout stage.
There's clearly daylight there.
And that's all we have for you in this edition of Breakfast News. Keep watching Rajya Sabha television.